Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Show, where we interview real estate investing professionals from coast to coast, as well as the service providers that serve the real estate investing industry. Our goal is simple: share what's working now to help you improve and scale your business to the next level and meet the pros that can help you get there. Real Estate Pros is powered by Investor Fuel, America's leader in helping real estate investors and professionals build the business you need to live the life you've always dreamed of. Let's start today's show. Property insurance for real estate investors doesn't have to be difficult, but it does need to be there to protect you when you need it. MyInvestorInsurance.com not only provides insurance at 15 to 30% cheaper than traditional agencies, it's built specifically for real estate investors like you. You can set up an account in about 2 minutes, get quotes on properties, turn on and turn off insurance for your fix and flip or rental properties in around 2 minutes without having to talk to anyone directly, all through our portal. There's no better way or faster way to make sure you've got the coverage you need to protect you, and no more lengthy policies either. Once you're set up, you're billed monthly and prorated by the day for however long your policy is active. It's powered by MSI, the third largest independent MGA, with 1.5 million customers and more than $1 billion in cumulative premiums written. Get set up today in about 2 minutes at myinvestorinsurance.com/fuel.
Welcome back to the show. I'm here today with Brynn Misener. If you're joining us for the first time, welcome. Man, I just botched my own intro that I do all the time. My goodness. Well, as you may not know, or as you do know, we interview the nation's leading real estate entrepreneurs here. And we are going to be, we're joined by an incredible guest, Brynn Misener, today. She's got over 10 years of investing experience, has a really unique blend of herbs and spices with what she's got going on, because she also has a realtor background as well. But she started investing first before she got licensed. So we're super excited to get into our conversation today, talk about their cash offer program, what they're doing with their investing company, and we're going to hop right into it. So just remember, at Investor Fuel, we help real estate investors, service providers, and real estate entrepreneurs 2 to 5x their businesses to allow them to build the businesses they've always wanted, to allow them to live the lives they've always dreamed of. That being said, Brynn, welcome to the show.
Thanks so much for having me. Happy to be here.
You bet. Well, I'm super excited to get into today's topic. Was really just glad to be able to visit a little bit before the show, but For the sake of all of our listeners, give us a little bit of background on you, where you came from, how you've gotten to where you're at now, and really what got you started into real estate.
Yeah, I actually used to be a teacher, and it was my passion, my calling. Always wanted to be a teacher, couldn't convince me otherwise, and then I got into teaching and realized, hey, maybe this isn't what I expected it to be. Lasted 6 years, which I think beats the average of the nation on how long a teacher lasts. So was
Really?
proud to make it 6 years, but was definitely looking into how I could grow wealth, right? And how could I earn my effort equal my earnings, right? And teaching is a career of passion and from your heart, and your effort makes results in children, but doesn't usually show up in your paycheck, right? I come from a huge family and parents who've given myself and my 6 siblings a beautiful life, and I was like, hey, I'm never gonna, in Chicago as a teacher, I'm gonna take care of myself, and that's it, right? Like, that's all that pay is going to do. And I had bigger dreams for the family that I had once have and now have, and my extended family of my parents, my siblings too. So was looking for a way out, had an older brother dipping his toes in real estate, kept asking what he was doing, and started studying to be a real estate investor. And after being a real estate investor and leaning on other realtors, I didn't feel comfortable on having somebody else decide if my deal was a good deal based on their knowledge. So the best solution to not being comfortable with the advisors I had was just to become my own advisor. So a couple of years into real estate investing, I went out and got my real estate license so that I now had the tools and resources to advise myself, and I absolutely advise clients the same way. But I didn't have to lean on anybody else to know if I was in the right deal. And that was powerful.
So you like having control over the process.
I do. I like knowing that my money, and more importantly, the lenders who partner with me, that our money's in a safe place, and we're doing exactly what we need to hit that after repair value on the other side when we're talking flips.
Love that. So now, what's unique about your process that maybe our listeners haven't heard or seen before?
Stop living on an island and join the #1 mastermind in America for professional real estate investors. Investor Fuel is a community of hundreds of the nation's top investors working together to build stronger businesses and better lives. In addition to the amazing community of real estate investors acting as a board of advisors for one another, Investor Fuel members have access to 100% funding on purchase and repairs for our members only, a health insurance program, and benefits and discounts that more than pays for the membership of most of our members, meaning it's actually costing you money to not be a member of Investor Fuel. If you're looking to scale your business and build a business that allows you to live the life of your dreams, please visit investorfuel.com today and book a call with our team.
Yeah, I think what makes us unique, I run a business with Mary and Rick are my business partners, and we're twofers every time we meet a seller. Our entire team is going to show up with a whole bag of tools and resources to help the human sitting in front of us. So whether it's, hey, here's a route where you can list your home, and this is what we're going to market you at, and here's the expectations on what your sale price could be. And if that doesn't work for you, we have another solution for you. That's a cash offer. And that cash offer would be quick. It'd be on or not, whatever timeline's best for you, and it'd be really smooth. And then we offer even solutions in between that. So sometimes it's helping them get a few repairs done around the home so that they can list and go to market and get full price. Or again, it's just that smaller, hey, we might even sell it to another buyer in our network. What makes us unique is that we're going to create a solution that's best for the seller, and we're going to make sure that we serve it very well in whatever solution that is.
What are some situations that you've ran into in your career where someone, because it sounds like it's very seller based. Before I ask this question, let me just clarify that. It's very seller based. Is that correct?
Always, yes.
Okay. So with sellers, when is a situation going to arise when someone's in the process of wanting to sell where a cash offer versus just listing might be a better option than the other? Tell me about some of those scenarios.
Yeah. One story that comes to mind is a sale we did last year where the seller had already had their home in California. It was in a great pocket, so certainly we absolutely would want to buy it. And we just wanted to make sure that for the seller, that was still the right solution for them, because that price is going to be different, as you know, right? When we're buying it, we're going to need one price versus when we're bringing it to market and letting competition take over. So for that example, the seller already had their home in California, and to them, going on the market, being all over the internet, having 50 strangers walk through their home was the exact opposite of everything they wanted and needed. To them, privacy was very important. They had a child, an adult child who they were still taking care of and supporting and had his own needs. So there were things about the home that he just didn't want the world to see and know about. So we were able to truly just let him pick the date that he wanted closing. He knew exactly what our cash offer number was, and that sense of being able to pick his own timeline, have all the privacy he wanted, and just leave town on his own terms made that the better solution for him than letting the whole world know what's going on.
Yeah, that totally makes sense. Now, with that process, what is your process like when you do extend like a cash offer to someone? Is that something that you guys are buying yourself, bringing in money partners? Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, great question. So we actually leverage other people's money for every deal we do. We certainly secure the loan to the real estate. It is backed by real estate. It gets them a 12% annualized return, so they're making 1% a month on their money, which in today's market is awesome. That's,
If you're looking for consistent, high-quality leads, look no further than Investor Machine. Investor Machine isn't just another agency. It's the most sophisticated, data-driven lead generation company on the planet for real estate investors, and serves the role of being not just a lead generator for your business, but a marketing partner that is helping you achieve your goals along the way. Go to investormachine.com to learn more and schedule a call with our team today.
Three times the amount of most high yield savings right now, if you even have your money in high yield savings. So we secure it to real estate. It's very project based, but I've done over 100 flips, raised over, I think at this point, $14 million, and have never bought a home with my own money.
Love that. That's awesome. Now, do you go private money, hard money? What's kind of your guys' strategy?
Yeah, 10 years ago, hard money was what I had, and I would do private money gap, right? So not only did I not have all the money for the house, I also didn't have the money to even bring in the down payment that that hard money lender needed. So instead, we called it gap funding, right? We brought a private lender in to fill the gap. And remember Mary and I talking one day, and we're like, man, I can't wait for the day where we can do one project with just all private money, right? And now today, as I look at my board, we own like 15 houses and 100% private money lenders. So just the relationships we built over time. But we did what we had to do when we started out.
Absolutely. You seem like a very passionate person about what you do. Is there a reason for that other than like real estate in general it's an enjoyable field, right? Investor side, realtor side, like it's fun, right? And it's
Absolutely.
especially if you like solving problems, you like people, like there's some natural things you need to have, but like it's addicting even. But where does the passion, because I see it just almost exuding off you, where does that come from?
Yeah, I think, I'm a teacher at heart. So
Mm.
Mary was a teacher too. And again, she was my original
Really?
partner that I met. Yeah. And we didn't know each other in the teaching world. Did you, did I lose you?
I did
Sorry.
lose you for just a second. Yeah, just go ahead and
Okay,
repeat that. I'm sure my team can edit that out.
cool. I'm going to just get rid of the Bluetooth on my phone so that doesn't happen again. Sorry
You're
about
good.
that, team. Yeah, so Mary and I were both teachers, but we weren't teachers together, just happened to meet in the investing world. Actually took a coaching program and we were both in it. So I think where this passion for real estate comes in, as Mary and I talk about, we're still teachers. We're just have a different curriculum. Our students look different, and I love helping people know that I can solve their problems. I can get you from A to B and be your solution. And as you know, not all real estate professionals are treated equally. So I know that my team and I are going to give you great service, and we're going to work really hard for you and whatever solution is best for you. And I'm passionate about being that right person for you. So I love showing people what we can do for them. And then even furthermore, I love even teaching other realtors what they can do with their license too, because it's all about not just doing another commission. How do we take the money we earn and now turn that into wealth building as well? So I was a math teacher, so I love numbers no matter what, and I love having people get more green in their pocket.
You bet. Love that. Yeah, my favorite kind of math is calculating what my bank account's going to look like in
Yes,
2-3 months. You know what I mean? So I
absolutely. Or
love
what
that.
your return on investment is going to be, right? And like
Yeah,
that's the best
exactly.
way.
Yeah, 100%. So now let me ask you this. With that, so with the deals that you're doing, with kind of the hybrid blend of individual that you are, with being a traditional investor but also having your real estate license, why do you think most real estate agents don't get into investing, and why do you think most investors have a hard time with real estate agents when we're both kind of doing the same thing?
Right, great
Same but
question.
different.
Yeah, that was that battle we were talking about before, right? That
Right.
investors love to bash on realtors and realtors love to bash on investors. So let's answer the first question: why realtors don't get into investing when they have the market, they have the knowledge, they have the skills, right? So I think there's a confidence level there. It's about getting into that first deal and realizing, oh, I absolutely belong here. I teach other realtors that, hey, you can find a deal and the lead generation you're already doing. You can find a deal you can find a money partner in the beautiful database that you've already built. And by the way, you're already constantly referring contractors out to every one of your clients all the time. In fact, you're often general contracting your own client's property to get it ready for market. So why don't we take the skills and knowledge and database we already have and just turn that into another profit center in the business we're already doing? You don't need it. And I think the other fear is like it's going to take away from what they're doing. And if we actually just do it inside the business we've already created, then it's just creating an additional profit center that could really a couple of deals can get you another six figures in your real estate business and completely change your profitability for the year. So I think that if realtors had more confidence and just had the right steps to take to make that first deal, they'd see the power they have and they'd keep doing it.
Do you feel like the hardest thing for people to do is go 0 to 1?
If you're a new or newer real estate investor looking to launch or grow your real estate investing business, please check out Investor Fuel Club. It's a coaching community, but unlike anything you've ever seen before. And you can actually partner with members of our mastermind from coast to coast on deals right in your market. There's no better opportunity to build a consistent business than to literally partner with pros to help you avoid costly mistakes, avoid the need for capital to do deals, and help you eliminate your fears as you're starting your business. Learn more about Investor Fuel Club at investorfuel.com/club.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Why do you
It's
think that is?
that paralysis by analysis. It's just constantly watching, and it's scared. Like, you should have butterflies. I want realtors to know you should have butterflies going into a deal. Mary and I always said that if we don't have butterflies anymore, we're doing something wrong, right? Especially when I'm leveraging a lending partner. I don't take it lightly that someone's taking their hard-earned dollars and trusting them with me, right? Now, I'm going to make sure I protect that lender through getting in the right deal, having the right numbers, and securing their loan to the real estate asset. And I do have butterflies because it's a big deal and you should treat it as a big deal. So I can understand that initial, and I can relate to that initial mountain you need to climb when getting to your first property. But when you do it right, following a system, hitting the right numbers, and you have really built-in security time and time again in your contracting numbers and your after repair value and your timeline, then you get the confidence to keep doing it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, why investors don't like realtors? I think some realtors don't treat this as the business that it deserves to be treated as, right? You are helping people make big decisions on assets that, for most people, is the best wealth building assets they have. And when you don't return communication, you don't show up professionally, it just ends up creating this reputation for all of us, that's how we all show up. So I think if realtors showed a little more professionalism across the board, we wouldn't have that love-hate relationship with investors as much. And you have to show your value to an investor. You need to show them what they're going to be able to sell for and why they can sell for a proper, their projected after repair value. And you need to be there with them along the way. You don't just sell them a property at the beginning and say, best of luck with the rehab. Call me when you're done. There's a great opportunity to be there to continue to support them if it's a flipper or a buy and hold investor. Continuing to add value into our investor clients, like any other client we have, is really important.
On the flip side of that, maybe I didn't flesh this out, but for me, I feel like there's still some meat on that bone. Why do you think it's the reverse, with with real estate agents not liking investors? What do you think is the deal with that? Because I think we hit on more of why real estate agents don't invest, but why
Right.
is it that real estate agents have such a hard time with actual investors themselves too? And I've experienced
Yeah.
this myself, right? Like, I've
Sure.
experienced property down the street, hit the realtor up. I'm like, hey, I'd like to make an offer on the property. I am an investor, upfront about it, the whole 9 yards. And I'm like, look, you're listing this. You've got AC wasn't even on at the house. You had another realtor who was a friend of mine, funny enough, who was showing the house that day. Like,
Right.
isn't even the actual listing agent. You've got paint just destroyed all over the house. It needs new paint. The bathrooms are outdated. Like, it's got this boom, 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 boom. And you're trying to sell it higher than any of the comps in the area. Like, realistically, it's going to need 40 grand worth of work to get it up to maybe that price point. And so,
Right.
and I hit them up, and like, they wouldn't even present the offer, which is illegal
Not
if I'm not
illegal. Yes. Correct.
Yeah, so it's like,
Yeah.
and so it's like, why is it that realtors have it out for investors sometimes? Do you think it's just that lack of professionalism, or is there something there that maybe investors could be doing better themselves?
I think that is that frustration as a realtor, as the listing agent, and getting offers where you're like, hey, this is that low ball offer that I don't
Sure.
want to present to my client. I have to present it to my client legally, but unfortunately they've committed a price to their seller. Maybe, because even a list price sometimes is driven by more of the seller than the realtor, right? So we're assuming that this was a joint decision on what we're going to list it for. We all know that in the end, the seller gets to choose the price they want out there. And as an agent, I get to decide if I want to also be in representation of you, right? So I think that low ball offer situation gets those investors that bad name. when we just need, as a realtor, need to see it as an opportunity to get our seller's house sold. They don't have to accept it. And we have to understand, I think there's a lack of awareness that from the seller, from the realtor, on how much it actually costs to be that investor, right? We know that when we buy it, we've already spent a lot of money on just closing cost fees. And then our holding costs in our lending partners' interest. Those fees add up so quick that they feel like we're doing a lowball offer when in fact we're just trying to hit our minimum investment numbers. So I think that education piece to our sellers as to why the offer is coming in where it's at from an investor would be powerful to helping the realtor understand and tell them, the seller, why that number is what it is. Do they have to accept it? Absolutely not. And we've all been a listing agent where the house was worth more, and then that seller can politely decline the offer, right? And at the same time, it's an offer on your property to help get you sold, which is the whole reason we're even out there on the market to begin with.
Sure. Do you think that it's the responsibility, like a responsible agent, if a seller, because like you said, like if I'm at my house and my house is worth $400,000, but I want to sell it for $650,000, do you think it's a responsibility piece on the agent to be like, you're out of your mind? Like, look, here's why. This is what we need to like really coach their client on being realistic about what to expect they can actually get for their home while also trying to get top dollar for it.
Yeah, I think that's our value proposition at our listing presentation. Here's what the market is showing today. And by the way, it's just a marketing price, right? We all know that in order to sell, we need a buyer who's willing to pay for that price and that location and that condition. So I absolutely agree with you that it is our job. And at the same time, I would tell sellers, hey, in the end, you're the boss. Like, I can't force you to sign a listing agreement at any price. Here is what I'm suggesting as the professional, and here's the data that supports what I'm suggesting to you. And if we are going to list at a price, here's the action and sequence of events we're going to do if that price, it doesn't get the activity that we needed to get your home sold. And it's going back to that seller, is like that is your goal, Mr. Seller, correct? Like, you want to get to Florida to be near the grandkids and move on from this home, correct? Great. So I'm going to present you a plan that's going to get that done. And if the market doesn't respond to the price we chose together, then I need you to help work with me to get that price reduction to get that home sold. And at some point, on our team, it's we decide that this isn't a good fit, because I don't want to be an agent. I'm not out to get a bunch of listings. I'm not out to get a bunch of homes sold, right? And to help people accomplish their goals. I don't need another listing out there that's going to sit in the market. It's not going to help the seller, and it sure isn't going to help me, because I'm going to put time and effort to getting it sold. And I know that a huge part of the selling process is pricing that home correctly.
Do you recommend that investors who solely want to invest still get their real estate license?
I do. It doesn't mean you have to be active with it. And there's certainly, I've been through the issue of having my license and then getting dragged into more retail sales than I want to be in, right? And at the same time, I now have a beautiful team who we get to help nearly 150 families a year. So it's a great byproduct. One, there's a juggling act. 2021 investments were really hard in my area to come by, right? Turned it to the other side. Even 2020, my partner and I, a 2-agent team, sold 100 homes because we just went where the market was at and where the opportunity was. So it gives them the opportunity to earn income in multiple ways. And if you don't want to be a realtor full time, you just got to watch that you don't get sucked in.
Sure. What do you think are the benefits of having the ability to have your license versus the potential red tape you're causing for yourself?
Yes.
Because I was told by somebody who was an agent, for example, and I haven't really asked this question to anybody else, weirdly enough, in 6 years, but I was told by a good friend of mine who was an agent for a while, got out of it, did 16 flips in a year, got bored with
Wow.
that. Now he does commercial real estate, right?
Okay.
And so he doesn't even invest anymore. He just does commercial real estate
Interesting.
as a broker. Yeah, very interesting, right? But he told me,
Yeah.
he's like, dude, I would not recommend going and getting your license for it, because if you do, then you're held to a higher standard. There's more red tape. So what are the benefits that outweigh like the potential red tape of being a licensed professional versus not having that professional license?
Yeah, great question. And you have to worry about disclosure, and you have to do everything
Right.
per license law, even as an investor. So that's a great point. And at the same time, I'm responsible for a lot of people's money. right? At all times, I'm in debt in a way, although I have assets that I can sell to pay off that debt, so I'm not concerned. So I know that nobody's going to care more about that investment than me from the front end. No one's selling me this flip to get the commission on the back end because it's me. I'm the realtor who brought the deal to myself. I'm the one who's going to sell it. So I'm not being oversold. And that was my concern when I wasn't the realtor and didn't have the direct access to the MLS and didn't get how the MLS worked. And, Zillow was confusing when I'm trying to look at data, right? So having that direct, clear data that you get to judge and is huge. And on the back end, nobody else is going to work harder to sell my home than me. And that's the reality of it, right? Even if you're working with a top agent, they're serving multiple clients at a time. And I'm highly invested in getting that house sold. Sorry, excuse me.
So if you had to pick one and you couldn't be one or the other, and with the caveat of long-term wealth building being the goal, would you rather be an investor or an agent?
Yeah, if I had to pick one, which hurts my teacher heart and my serving heart, I'd pick the investor because,
why is that?
Well, my average commission last year was about $8,500. My average investment deal, wholesaler flip, was $34,000 and change. So, and it's the 80-20 rule. Unfortunately, the retail side just takes a lot more, especially when you have a team, which I love my team and I'm so grateful for them. But now you're talking about other humans that we're supporting and coaching and training, right? So because of that, you just end up taking more time and there ends up being more fees too. We do a lot of marketing on the investment side, but when I look at my P&Ls, it is more expense heavy on the retail side as well. So it's all about the dollars in the end. And if wealth building is the goal, I'm all in on investing if I had to pick one.
Yeah, for sure. That because that's one of the things that in the circles that I run in, one of the themes happens to be like it's like, well, like real estate agents, like if that's all they do, aren't really in real estate. They're selling other people's real estate, which obviously you could make great money doing, but it's not until you switch over to that other side that you unlock this like whole new world of opportunity to an
Right.
extent. Would you agree with that? I mean, do you think that every agent eventually should, for the long-term aspect, start investing, etc.? Would you think that
Yeah.
or no?
Any investment at all, whether you want to do, like, pick the investment that's right for you. You don't want to
Sure.
be a flipper? Don't be a flipper, right?
Right.
But absolutely don't stay on the sidelines while everybody else is playing in the game and you're helping your own clients and your own investors be in the game. Not to mention real estate, we're entrepreneurs. We don't have retirement plans. There's no built-in match for a 401k. So what better way to not use your skills and knowledge and again, the business you already have and just do a few deals, do one investment a year. Over a 20-year career, you got 20 doors at the end of the day. That is your retirement plan.
Right. Yeah, 100%, and obviously there's other strategies, tactics, having your Roth set up, using IRAs, all those different types of things. But like at the end of the day, you still have to start somewhere. So I love that. So let me ask you this. If you had to like really just go back for a minute and put yourself like in that moment where you realize like, okay, I've got to find a new avenue for this teaching thing because I'm gonna die broke if I stay teaching in a traditional school sense, right?
Burnt out and broke, yeah.
Yeah. So driving a 20-year-old used Camry,
Yeah.
like, not that there's a stereotype of teachers or anything.
Right.
We love them, but if you had to put yourself in that moment in those shoes, not knowing what you know now, and for just a moment, but then you could take the last 10 years of experience, the last 10 years of lessons, the last 10 years of failures, the last 10 years of successes and wins, and you could have that confidence to start. What would you do differently than you did, and what would you do the same?
Great question. Well, I think one of the best things I stumbled upon, the biggest blessings of my life was meeting Mary. And we just tackled both things together. So that's just by chance. It's like, hey, when you find something great, run with it. When you find great people, and that can relate to your team, that can relate to partners in your business, whatever it is, when you find great people, learn to collaborate versus compete. Because I first met Mary as my agent. I needed a better agent than the agent who was serving me, and I didn't like the agent who was serving me. I felt like we were forcing deals, right? She's like, oh, crazy enough, people are selling for this price in their market. I'm like, where's the data? I was a math teacher. Where's the data that says I'm going to sell any property for this price? And I meanwhile at Mary, and she's like, don't get that property, right? So we started as this agent-client relationship, never did a deal that way. And she's like, what if we do it together? And then she's like, well, now that we're doing a deal together, you better go get your license, and the rest is history. So find great humans, collaborate with them. I rather have a whole bunch of pieces of pies than just the whole pie over and over again. So that's what we did, right? We just split the pie. So what I would absolutely do the same is be all in on the wonderful people I meet along the way, collaborate and win together. What I would do different, I think it's hard to say I would do different, but it is about getting that confidence piece we talked about earlier. If I was more confident, I would have gotten more deals faster and just accelerated my wealth journey faster. So I think that's big. And then if I had more volume, I could have held more along the way instead of selling them for my active income, because that's the other gamble you get into being an investor, is that we still need to make money. We still need money coming in to support us and our families, but we don't always get that all the time when we're holding and if we're not being able to cash out enough equity, right? So I would definitely want to hold more over the last 10 years if I could do it over again.
Well, Brynn, thanks so much for joining us today. If
Yes.
anybody wants to learn more about you or what you're working on, where should they go?
Yeah, they can just find us on our website, theelevategroup.com. So I don't think I even mentioned, I'm with the Elevate Group at Keller Williams Preferred Realty, and we run elevated offers on the investment side. And we call ourselves That Flippin' Realtor on Instagram, and would love to connect.
I love it. Well, you heard it here, here first, folks. Go connect with Brynn Misener. Maybe you'll get wiser. Hope you enjoyed today's show. We'll see you in the next episode. And make sure to subscribe and learn more about Investor Fuel at www.investorfuel.com. We'll see you then.
Thanks for joining us for today's Real Estate Pros Show. You can learn more about the amazing benefits of the Investor Fuel Mastermind community, including surrounding yourself with hundreds of other rock stars, 100% financing for your deals, and members-only discounts from vendors you're likely already using that, as a member of Investor Fuel, will save you more than the cost of your membership. Visit investorfuel.com to learn more. If you're interested in joining us as a guest of this show, please visit investorfuel.com/pros to apply. You can also check the show notes for access to free resources, how to get access to world-class lead generation, and much more. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another episode. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next show.